WBA International Middle, WBA Feder Latin, the IBO Intercontinental, the WBO International, the WBC Fecker Box, that's different to the WBA, and the WBA and NBA Middle, 7 belts.
Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions and Eye of the Tiger Management, in association with GH3 and Murphy's Boxing, present this next contest, sponsored by Videotron and Evenco. The 3 judges at ringside: Richard Bluet, Paul Jerome Giacotto, and Pasqua Procopio. And inside the ring, in charge of the action at the bell, referee Steve Saint-Germain. And now, 10 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBO Intercontinental Middleweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trimmed with gold, official weight 158.8 pounds. His professional record, 26 victories, including 18 wins by knockout, only 2 defeats. He's from Cork, Ireland, the former Irish middleweight champion, former WBO International Middleweight champion, Gary Spike Sullivan. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black with blue, officially weighing in at 159.2 pounds. His professional record, also excellent, 22 victories, including 16 wins by knockout with only 1 defeat and 1 draw. From Washington, D.C., USA, the former IBO Intercontinental Middleweight Champion and former WBO International Champion, Action, Antoine Douglas.
But sorry, both receive my instruction, locker room. Want a good clean fight? Protect yourself at all time. Listen to my commands all the time. Touch gloves. Good luck, both of you.
Antoine Douglas, much the taller man, stands around about 6 foot. Gary O'Sullivan, Spike, immensely popular in Ireland. And over here, on this side of the Atlantic, he's had 12 fights in the United States, all 4 since that defeat against Chris Eubank Jr. Kind of made Boston and New York second homes. He is a sharp puncher. And Douglas, as I said, just that 1 defeat against Kurtzides. Big reach advantage for Douglas. How much of a problem for Sullivan?
Well, it will be, but what Sullivan will do is try and do already. He'll just keep their hands nice and high, and he'll try and just walk through that jab. So he'll try and meet it halfway, just to stunt it a little bit, so he can get close and put Douglas under pressure.
Spike O'Sullivan, who first went into a boxing gym when he was 5 years old. His mum, a boxing coach.
Oh, good left hook there from O'Sullivan.
Got a lot of self-belief, and he thinks that his punching power will certainly try Douglas. Kurtzides ultimately walked through him and stopped him in 10 rounds. O'Sullivan thinks he can do likewise.
Well, and that's sort of O'Sullivan's sort of style anyway, isn't it? He tries to walk you down with physical presence, then get the work when he gets close to the attackers, particularly with that right hand. The sharp hands here so far from Douglas.
Douglas, who had it so tough as a kid. He was abused in foster homes. Mother was a drug addict. And I think it's probably no exaggeration to say that boxing has been his salvation. Sister as well is a good quality boxer.
Lovely uppercut there from O'Sullivan. A good response back there from Douglas.
Some high quality work from both men in the early stages here. O'Sullivan last in action in September when he stopped Nick Quigley in 4 rounds.
And this is what he wanted, O'Sullivan, making Douglas work. Forcing him to throw punches maybe when he doesn't want to, and he has to, just to keep O'Sullivan off. It's good work there from Douglas.
It's a lovely right hand. By necessity, it's been a fast start from Douglas. Quality body shot in the closing seconds. And one back from O'Sullivan. Bright opening round. Douglas looking sharp.
He is looking sharp. Even a close roll. Maybe just edge Douglas with maybe the faster hands, but there's nothing in that round. I think they'll be quite happy in the O'Sullivan corner, and he's forcing this young fighter to work hard.
Keep them jab just like that. Deep breath. Relax. Take it slow. You got him. Just keep throwing that jab on him. Touch him. Stand that right hand down, still, okay? Bring the shell deep back up and keep rolling to your right and your left, okay? You got him. Just fast combination just like that. Don't worry about him backing you up.
Nice deep breath.
He's running everything, okay? Come on, deep breath.
Chief cornerman there, Dennis Porter, is Sean Porter's dad.
Don't smuggle that right hook. You want to touch him, control from here, okay? Great first round. Okay, keep doing the same. Don't follow him around the ring. Get in the toe, make him walk, right? Catch, and then go back, bomb. Keep turning body shots out here, okay?
The familiar voice of Pascal Collins, Packy Collins to his mates, Steve Collins' brother.
And they'll be happy, and you can tell they're happy in the corner. They're making this kid work. And that's what you want. You want to tire him out, force him to throw punches when he doesn't want to, and just has to. And that'll make Sullivan getting into the skin, getting close to him. He has to keep moving ahead, O'Sullivan. That's important for him.
Don't wish to trivialise things too much, Barry, but that is a great moustache.
Oh, it's fantastic. It really is. Takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, John.
And those of you listening on and watching on, perhaps like to just share for a moment the fact that it's just about 20 years ago to the day. I think it's actually on Tuesday, isn't it, Barry, since you won your world title?
It is, John. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it just seems like only yesterday. And like every ex-boxer, you miss it every day.
You look barely a day older, mate.
Terrible liar. Lovely uppercut there from Douglas. She's good pressure from O'Sullivan, but the fact that he doesn't move his head when he's coming forward means that he has to take a few too many punches when he is marching onto Douglas. And we know he's tough, O'Sullivan. We know he can take a good shot.
No, tremendously tough. I mean, the old tough as old boots phrase could have been invented for Spike O'Sullivan. He will keep coming.
No punch, break it out, break it out.
A sneaky right uppercut there from O'Sullivan in close.
He's a Cork man down in the southwest, Gary O'Sullivan. Remember that fight against Anthony Fitzgerald in 2014? Remember that one? First round knockout. That was a bit of a grudge match. Cork versus Dublin, and Cork won.
I think someone threw a chair in the ring that night.
It was a nasty sort of night.
Someone missed O'Sullivan with a stool by inches. Oh, good right hand there from O'Sullivan.
Really loads up on his punches, Douglas, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And again, that hand speed as well.
The reddening around the nose of O'Sullivan. And still a long way to go. We're only in the second of this 10-rounder.
Lovely uppercut there from Douglas. Nice lead left uppercut. And the fact that O'Sullivan doesn't move his head means he can lead off with those shots. Just rolled a bit, O'Sullivan. He'd be a much harder target to hit.
Douglas was the gambling favourite for this one. Not an overwhelming favourite, but he was nevertheless. And so far, he's kind of showing why.
Yeah, he is. And I think even though O'Sullivan's doing well, the fact that he doesn't move his head, he's walking forward.
There's Billy Joe with his trainer Dominic Ingle. What a good job he's done getting Billy Joe back into shape. He's really rediscovered his love for the sport. seriously contemplated retirement not so long back, disenchanted, out of shape, but he has found again his enthusiasm. Defending his title against David Lemieux. That is our main event coming up next. Have a good relationship, these two. Sullivan has problems here. It might be that the first 2 rounds have slipped away.
They have, but I think the first round was even though I think he lost, I thought it was a good round for O'Sullivan, that he made Douglas work hard. I think the second round, the fact that he doesn't move his head.
Oh, he's caught him there.
Just takes a little too many coming forward, O'Sullivan.
Good left hand that was from O'Sullivan. And he's trying to follow up. Douglas coming back well off the ropes, but it was a good left hand.
Nice uppercut there, though, from Douglas again.
Shaping up to be a real hard man's contest, this one. Both of them landing with power shots.
And that's what he always tries to do, doesn't he, O'Sullivan? Make it a war of attrition. And really question your heart, your desire.
He knows and he believes that Douglas has been found wanting before. His one defeat when he was worn down in the sort of fight which Sullivan believes that he can replicate.
It's a good jab, though, there from Douglas.
Got one back.
Loading up a lot here, Douglas. Got to be careful, he's using a run out of steam.
Only in the 3rd round. Long way to go. Douglas, the younger man by 8 years, 25 years old. Sullivan, who's been a pro now since 2008.
Good jab there from Sullivan, but he is being out-jabbed at the minute.
He is being out-jabbed. I think that left hook, though, has actually sustained a bit of facial damage to Antoine Douglas.
To take his own one there, didn't he? O'Sullivan, lovely left hook fair from Douglas. See, if he just move his head there, O'Sullivan, dip to the left, and come back with a left hook, he evades the shot, and then comes back with his own.
Douglas wins this one impressively, and well, Oscar De La Hoya has said he'd be in the championship mix. I suppose he would say that, wouldn't he? Just selling the importance of the contest.
Yeah, and also, I think you just, you got maybe just take your time a little bit. This is a hard test for him, but Golovkin's and Canelo just a little bit different level.
Former US junior champion Antoine Douglas. Here comes Sullivan again, doing what he always does, trying to walk his man down and land some power shots of his own now in the closing seconds of this 3rd round. Almost with that left hook. Round for Douglas, though.
Yeah, again, they've all been competitive and close enough. I just think the sharper word from Douglas is giving him the edge every time. And O'Sullivan's inability to slip punch you when he comes forward maybe costing him some of these rounds. Because he's making this young man work hard, and that's what he wants, especially for down the stretch.
Just about everybody in their seats now. Great atmosphere here in Laval. About half an hour away from the centre of Montreal. Cold out here at the moment. You know, it was -20 last night. -20. That is seriously cold.
Wish I would have bought a coat.
You'd know about it if you hadn't. So 3 rounds gone, and Antoine Douglas is setting all sorts of problems for this man, and it may well be that he's taken the first 3 rounds just with the slightly snappier, more accurate work. Sullivan will surely know that he's got to have a big round to get himself back into this.
But O'Sullivan's making it competitive, and he's, like I keep saying the same thing, he's making his younger fighter work hard, and Douglas is loading up on his shots. So the plan is to try and wear him down, take him into the later rounds, and then you go to work when he hasn't had the energy to do it.
O'Sullivan into this on the back of 4 straight wins, the only 2 defeats on his professional record. Let me remind you, in 2013, points defeat against Billy Joe Saunders, our main event world champion tonight, and then retiring after 7 rounds a couple of years ago against Chris Eubank Jr. Actually stunned Eubank, didn't he, in the 2nd round, caught him with a big shot, but
he's lost to 2 quality fighters, and he's given a good account of himself in both contests.
Oh, caught him there. That's a big left hand. Has to take one back, but the power shot was from O'Sullivan. Douglas took it well, though, to be fair.
Yeah, he's recovered quite well, actually. It was a lovely left hook. Just left his chin in the air, stood a little bit too tall. And O'Sullivan from that crouch stance, whipping that left hook over the top. Good shot. He's got to build on that now.
Clearly the best punch of the round.
Best punch of the
from
fight.
the Irishman. And still right in his face is Douglas, just starting to slow a bit and feel the cumulative effect of this relentless forward march of Spike O'Sullivan.
Oh, again with that left hook. Right uppercut just before it, but then a long left hook from O'Sullivan.
It's better round this for the Irishman, Barry. Sullivan, who never fought in major championships, never went to an Olympics, because at the age of 19 he became a dad and had the pressing need to find money to feed his young family. Now got 3 daughters and a son. Much better round this for Gary O'Sullivan.
Oh, again with that left hook there from O'Sullivan. Douglas struggling to read out at the minute, and a good round there for O'Sullivan.
Yeah, a little spring in his step as he went through the final seconds there.
Okay, now you're going to start throwing 1 and 2 punches at a time, 3 and 4 punches at a time. Really? You hurt him, Spike. You're going to hurt him again. Okay, when you hurt him, don't wait for him to come back with them wild shots. When the fighter's hurt, they're dangerous. Okay, so when you hurt him, remember, show that, push the jab in his face, crack that right to the body, come back over the top, just keep tap, tap, tap. Okay, that was your round. That was your best round. Okay, he's running away from you now, he's giving himself a little bit of room, have a breather, and what's he doing then? He's throwing a few shots again.
Yeah, accurate assessment in the familiar Dublin accent of Packy Collins.
It's just sheer commitment, though, isn't it, from O'Sullivan? You know, he's taking a few punches, he's happy to block, happy to stay in the target, and then when Douglas stands up a little bit too tall, he sees it and he just whips that left hook over the top.
Now, Douglas may have edged the first 3. Certainly looked as though the wonderfully mustachioed Irishman Gary O'Sullivan has taken the 4th.
John O'Sullivan, almost, with the moustache.
Well, he claims to be to be related, you know, to John L. Sullivan, great fighter of Victorian times.
A good right hand there. It's also a resemblance to Daniel Day-Lewis, isn't it, in Kings of New York?
He's an entertaining companion and talker, is Gary O'Sullivan. And he's caught him again with the left hand.
Now that's the shot that he needs, Douglas, that solid left hand. Oh, good left hook. Oh, he felt that there, O'Sullivan.
Good punch from Douglas, and this is a quality response from the American. Oh, wow. It is really warming up in the 5th. Both of them getting through with big headshots.
I thought he just dipped the legs of O'Sullivan for a second, then 2 shots later, it's O'Sullivan rocking him with the right hand.
He is hard as nails, Gary O'Sullivan.
If he would just move his head coming forward, he would be a whole different set of tricks. Good shot again there from Sullivan, good right hand. And he needs to do what Packy Collins was saying in the corner, let your hands go in 3 and 4s now when you get close.
Oh, that's a great shot again. Punched right through the target, as you saw beautifully from that camera angle there. Young Antoine Douglas must have realised he was going to be in for a hard one tonight. And it is turning out to be a tough, tough fight.
But he's boxing well, Douglas. He's boxing really well.
Having to.
Yeah, you see, that's the difference. He's not, you know, he's forced to throw punches. He's not throwing punches when he wants to and he feels relaxed. He's forced to throw out of necessity to keep O'Sullivan away, which he can't quite do. In these last 2 rounds, he's slowed down just a little bit. The hand speed hasn't been quite as fast. And that's given O'Sullivan a chance to maybe just grab a few rounds back and even the fight up. Good jab there from O'Sullivan as well.
He'll be scoring it himself at home. Another good right hand from Gary O'Sullivan. Barry here's got it 3 rounds to 1 in the 4 completed rounds so far to the American Antoine Douglas. Great left hook to the body from O'Sullivan, who's finishing this 5th round strongly. Oh, another solid shot. He's landed 2 or 3 of those to the head. Really turning impressively.
Good body shot as well there from O'Sullivan.
Good round. Lemieux in his dressing room. That image being played out on the big screen up above the ring here. And the Canadian fans, a buzz of anticipation around this big arena. He knows he's on TV. Trying to provide an eye-catching smile for the camera.
But he looks as confident as Billy Joe, because he knows that if he lands with a big shot, then it's good night. He knows he has that one punch power to change a fight.
Bernard Hopkins is part of his promotional group, who I guess would say it, wouldn't he? But he said he is as good a hooker as there is in the sport, as good a left hook as there is delivered.
Well, you've got to say he's thereabouts. Just seeing the quality work here from O'Sullivan. A fantastic right hand, and you've got to give Douglas credit for taking it and trying to fire back. But is that pressure just starting to tell now from O'Sullivan? That's, for me, that's 2 rounds on a spin.
So 3-2 now, 5 rounds completed. We move into the 6th and into the second half of the fight. Very much up for grabs.
Well, for the most part, Douglas is boxing well and maybe doing the, you know, landing with the more shots, but for the last couple of rounds, the bigger punches, the stand-up punches have come from O'Sullivan. The fact that he's landing with that right hand more frequent than he was in the first 2 rounds is a worrying sign for Douglas.
Oh, good work again. Heavy shots from O'Sullivan.
And the right combination, John, the right hand to the body and coming out with the left hook over the top.
Great user of social media, Spike, and he's had any number of messages of support from his Irish fan base. And as usual, he's giving it absolutely everything.
And there's not so much speed in the work of O'Sullivan. He's methodical coming forward, but he's the only one throwing punches at the minute. Douglas he's slowed right down. And this is hard, just getting broken again.
Well, it's attritional work as ever from O'Sullivan, drumming his gloves together to try and inspire himself into greater endeavour.
Good body shot there though from Douglas. Just needs to get a spring back in his step, the young Douglas. Needs that hand speed, that foot speed, the spin around the target. Because for me, so far in this round, O'Sullivan's just starting to walk him down.
Is he just starting to chip away at this formidable American, and is the insistence, the forward march of Sullivan, is it going to reap dividends?
Good right hand off the ropes there though from Douglas.
Good fight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good entertainment. Without being an all-out war, but it's a typical O'Sullivan fight. He makes it a war of attrition. forces you to fight.
Both of these lads have good stoppage ratios. Similar, actually. Douglas 16 out of 22, O'Sullivan 18 out of 26.
Oh, lovely from O'Sullivan. Body shot just before that exchange, and that right uppercut through the guard. Good back over there from Douglas. That hand speed again. It's been a good round, this one, John.
Tough round, this one. Not an easy one to score either. Both men have had moments of serious success, and both of them punching thin air in the closing seconds of a real energy-sapping round.
Well, I think the last minute of the round, maybe the flashier work and the faster punches from Douglas, but for me, the first 2 minutes was mainly O'Sullivan, so I think he's evened the fight up on my card, John.
Okay, so don't let him back into the fight. He doesn't want it, okay? The hardest part is over, all right? Let me tell there a second. Let me tell. The hardest part's over, okay? We've got 4 rounds left. Have you got 4 hard rounds left? When you keep throwing that jab into him, and Spike, when you're getting there, don't go bumble. Just work, work, work. Remember we done in the gym? Look busy to the judges. And you just let them back in all the time.
Pretty good assessment from Packy Collins. There's some real success from O'Sullivan.
He had to walk through a lot of shots, especially in those first 3 rounds, and to get to this stage where he slowed the feet down of Douglas.
Let's go, drop your butt. You gotta drop your butt. Come on.
It's up for grabs. Barry's got it dead level. 4 rounds to go. Some of the rounds have been close, though, and as ever, when you get those close rounds, it can lead to a serious disparity between the various judges. So physically strong, isn't he, O'Sullivan?
Yeah, he is. I know he can punch, but I don't think he's the biggest puncher. I just think it's sheer. No, I think he's a heavy hitter, strong puncher, without being a crisp shot puncher. Good shot.
That's a heavy shot. And he's in trouble now. He's going to go, is he? Almost went down with that right hand. Huge attack from O'Sullivan. Referee's watching. He's defenseless and he's down. And it might be all over right here. Is he going to be able to get up? What a tremendous attack from Spike O'Sullivan. Bravely, Douglas is on his feet. He says, I'm okay. Doesn't look okay to me. Anything but. And I think the referee's stopping it. It's all over. It is all over. Spike O'Sullivan kisses the canvas, embraced by Packy Collins and the rest of the corner. And what a performance from the 33-year-old Irishman. Perhaps the best win of his career.
Oh, he was just tremendous. He just broke that young kid's heart. A guy who maybe, on paper, had maybe the better tools, the faster hands, maybe the sharper work, the better footwork. And O'Sullivan just dragged him into a wall of attrition, broke his heart, and then beat him up. It was a tremendous result, really was.
Well, he squared it up, and you heard Packy Collins between the rounds saying, look, don't let him back into it. You've done the hard part, you've got back. And when the attack came, when he caught him initially with that left hook, it was a sustained bombardment. And Antoine Douglas here, the younger man, he unraveled, he disintegrated. And Spike O'Sullivan, well, is this the most meaningful performance of his career? Here's how the end came.
Well, he'd already feeling sorry for himself, Douglas, but before this point, because he was loading up those early rounds, trying to get rid of O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan's made of strong stuff, and he walked through some hard shots in those early rounds, but it was all a plan. It was all a plan just to wear this young kid down, get him tired, slow those feet down and go to work. And that was it. And then once he hurt him the shot, then Douglas had nowhere to go. He's not panicking, Douglas, but he just doesn't know what to do. He's got hurt, he's dazed. And O'Sullivan, once he's got you going, he's not going to stop letting his hands go. I think it was a good performance there from O'Sullivan. Really good performance.
It was a tough man's performance, wasn't it? A hard man's performance.
But I think at 33, he can still get better. I know that's unusual to say. I think there's a few adjustments. Moving the head, coming forward, he can slip punch it. There's not much work you have to do to make him more effective being offensively. Because we know he's tough, we know he's strong, we know he can walk through walls to get his job done. But I think, you know, some of those rounds he could have won early.
The end comes at 1:03 of round number 7. The winner by knockout victory and he is now the WBO Inter-Continental Middleweight Champion, the fighting pride of Cork, Ireland, Gary "Spike" Sullivan.
Cheers, I'm sure, across the Emerald Isle, and of course for his considerable fan base across the United States. That was a really good performance from Gary "Spike" O'Sullivan. He was the underdog in this particular contest, but he certainly didn't fight like one, fought with belief, and emerged